will, but I do think they can win it.
I think this is Achieves proving that he is RLCS's real historian right here, because every time we see Vitality in a spot like this, they just get the result that they need. Like we saw it earlier on, that's how they made it to the first major. We've seen it in previous seasons where, okay, RLCS, surely BDS are winning the whole thing. Thanks for turning up, Vitality, and they go ahead and win it. There's something about these matches that Vitality always come out on top of, and they're going to need more of that magic here up against KCorp.
Yeah, and just a little bit of history as well. Looking at KDOT right here, I think he's using the car that he used back in Season 7 when we won the RLCS. So reminiscing on his better days back when he was one of the most dominant players in Rocket League. But right now he is going to be reliant on Alpha and Radosin a little bit more and their ability to outplay the defense of KCorp, who we know are one of the most mechanical teams in Europe this split.
And so it's all about not biting on the wrong thing when you're up against KCorp, because if you do, you're going to end up double committing an awful lot up against them. As KDOT takes his time, good catch from him, but realizes he couldn't get it too much further as he had it on the wrong side of the car. So you know if he was trying to find the pass over to his teammate. Either way, Astral now over onto the wall. Good beat on the first player, wants a block on KDOT, and KDOT does well just to guide the ball around him.
Yeah, a bit of a history as well between Astral and KDOT. Back when Astral was on Dignitas, you know, they had a lot of big games in Season 9. The final of that season, online season, was between Astral and KDOT and Alpha as well, in fact, at that stage. So, you know, definitely a bit of a rivalry there. And, you know, Astral being one of the younger French-speaking players coming up will have seen KDOT as a bit of an idol and now wants to prove against him that he is the superior French-speaking player. Of course, KCorp as well and Vitality, two of the biggest French-speaking orgs. I'm sure the Rocket Baguette stream and the French audience right now are loving watching this matchup, as it's definitely a rivalry. We've seen so many times. Alpha, shut me up and score a goal. Beautiful.
I'm sure so many people watch us this season and keep wondering, why do they keep talking about this guy so much? We're not seeing it. Well, that's why. Alpha is a difference maker, because he can hit stuff like that. 1-0, Vitality have taken the lead. And they've got 3 minutes to try and hold on to it, or trying to add on to it as Alpha wins the challenge. Looks like he's starting to find his groove over here in the lower bracket.
Yeah, always a threat, always a player you've got to watch out for. When he's playing well, he looks like the best player in the world. What a pinch! Oh! Radosin just coming around just in time to send that one away. But there will be mechanical moments from both sides of the field. Of course, Alpha majority of that on Vitality, but all three of KCorp. Definitely one to watch.
That's going to be a save Itachi. Bumped into it. I think it was going to hit the crossbar anyway, but just gave it that little extra oomph to take it away from a potential rebound. Now Astral's chance. Oh, big miss. As KDOT hits it back over to Alpha. Does have Radosin in the midfield. Radosin can't with a block. Alpha has 1v3 the Karmine Corp.
He's so smart. The threat of what he is capable of makes these players rush and panic, and he knows they're going to do that, and just 50-50s his way to the goal line. And you see Astral having to avoid the bump from Radosin. Doesn't manage to get a good 50 on the ball, and Alpha pinches that ball into the net with the defender. Alpha is the difference maker in this series.
Alpha on the ball yet again. Does get the opportunity for it. Flicks it only as far as the defenders, but that's good enough at the moment because his team have been very quick, a lot more efficient with the way that they've been moving around the field. And for Karmine Corp, it is now up to them to try and find some answers. We know that they've got extra levels to the way that they play. Haven't able to find them so far. KDOT puts that one back into the midfield. Astral realizes he has to get the ball quickly. Does end up giving up his car in the process. That's actually, yeah, he's going to have to play his one back here. That is a wall of orange cars that were ready to chase after him if he chose to play that one up the wall. But the options just aren't there right now. This has been an exceptional positioning performance from the entirety of this Vitality squad.
I was going to say the context of the timing in the tournament this game. You know, KCorp have come off of a loss in the upper bracket, have been waiting for this game. And I'm sure there's a lot of thinking going on for this team. You know, they know today is such an important day. If they make top 6, they're in a fantastic spot to guarantee London. If they don't, then they're going to be relying on other people's results. So if it's in their control right now, they need to win. There's a lot of pressure on the line for them. Meanwhile, Vitality, it seems like, are stepping up in that environment. defending out the onslaught of KCorp of mechanics right now, not finding a way through. Vitality looking to close out the first game.
Got Astral over to himself, looking to go the entire way. KCorp just floated up along with him. But the shots are still there. There wasn't much power on that one. If Nolly caught that well, that should have been 2-1.
It's tough for these guys. It's tough to find the gap that they need to be able to score. And they're really trying to take it route one. They're trying to take it towards the goal. I think they need to work a little bit more around the Vitality defense. Break them down first. Because right now, Vitality are in strong defensive position and capable of holding off all of these mechanical plays.
It's going to drop down, but it is too little too late. And Vitality, off the back of some monstrous plays from Alpha, are going to take game number 1. But this isn't the only game happening right now. There is an awful lot of games happening with an awful lot of implications. And Achieves can give us an update on some of those.
Yeah, so in short, it's a lot of them is just win and you're in okay shape, lose and you get eliminated from the major. So starting from the top, EG versus Semper. EG winning game 1, riding the wave off the reverse sweep over Semper. So a big win here, or a loss, I should say, is that's the only one that matters. Losing in that match essentially takes you out of major contention, so can't afford to lose that. Guild versus Dignitas. Dig win game 1 2-0 versus Guild, and a lot of the same stuff here, but if Dignitas loses, then Endpoint is like, cool, we clinch for Worlds, so they're hoping that Guild can make a big comeback there. Luminosity able to win game 1 versus Solary, but Solary is punching back here in game 2, so trying to even things up, and a loss for both of them eliminates them from Worlds with the extra danger of Luminosity being eliminated from the major if they lose. So don't care who wins, really. It's more about who loses for all of these people.
I'm just imagining somebody out there trying to decide like which stream do I want to watch, and their mate just says, "I'll just put on the most important one." And they go, that does not help in the slightest. But right now, Vitality are doing what just always seems to happen from them. They are stepping up when required, and it has been off the back of Alpha. The only worry here is Alpha capable of that for another 10 minutes, Greg, and at least? What's sort of your read on this?
Yeah, I mean, Vitality as a team were able to hold off the superior offense of KCorp that whole game, but then it did rely on Alpha to score a goal, which, like you said, you can't rely on that every single game. But maybe the way he's playing will provide that confidence for Radosin, who's a little bit newer to this higher level gameplay, in the sense that Williams Resolve were always just outside of this top potential. He really needs to step up in this big moment and bring out a star performance to aid Alpha in that successful performance.
Yeah, and if you do look at sort of these tournaments from the opinion of Radosin, he's getting the best performances, he's getting his best results of his entire career. And still people might be turning around just going, wow, Vitality just aren't quite there yet, are they? That might be a little frustrating on his part, but still every opportunity to make sure the best is yet to come from this split. As KCorp does chase down, Nolly off the bump, does give Astral a bit of space, but Alpha once again just gets in the way. 1 boost for Astral. Still does pretty well to cause a little bit of panic, but Radosin crushes through the first challenge.
Oh,
now
great touch
for the setup, and Astral having none of it. Oh, he's got so many beat KCorp's by himself. Oh,
that's it.
It's gone off him. It's off the bump. Nothing he could do about it. But it does just add some insult to injury.
I'm sure a lot of people right now are looking at KCorp and thinking, how's he not defended that well? The reason is he's got Nolly to worry about, and Astral who's got space, and an Itachi close behind. That is a misplay from Radosin and Alpha, not really supporting that final defender, diving in, and Astral using his mechanics and defense to take it out and create that 3v1 situation. That's why you can't rely on Alpha to just score and hold out, because KCorp have got too scary an offense to hold off for a full 5 minutes.
Nolly's going to move on in. Can't win the race to the ball. Natalia had certainly a next gear of pace towards them compared to what we saw earlier on in the broadcast. Need every single little bit of it. 3 minutes left here of a goal down. Actually waiting for his chance. Maybe waited a little bit too long, but the ball does roll over to Nolly as Radosin continues just to clatter into it as often as he possibly can. Now off the backboard, KCorp can't get to it, and Astral not enough boost to wrap that car back around and find a double tap.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing we're more worried about coming out of KCorp than Vitality. Their ability to turn possession into a goal. And that's always the question. Who on Vitality will do it outside of Alpha? And frequently we see KDOP doing very simple touches to try and set up his teammates in situations where realistically he needs to be the one stepping up and creating a goal, breaking the opponents down. Because all it's doing is taking him out the game whilst drawing in a teammate and expecting them to work magic. So if KDOP can start breaking down the opposition by providing a little bit more value, then we might see that Vitality triple threat finally start to work.
Oh, Nolly ended up being called off from that one from Itachi. It just looked like there was a slight miscommunication as to whose ball that was. And Radostin, he's seemingly always in the way at the moment. There is going to be a bit of an argument over whose 100 boost that was. It was Radostin that picked it up, but he was also bumped out of the way, so it is up to Alpha now. Create that breathing room now for his squad. Just over 100 seconds left here. Itachi with Nolly to aim for. Nolly's already up. Good challenge then from Radostin. Good challenges isn't all that Vitality need right now. 90 seconds. And at least somewhat well at getting players towards it, but neither team getting the big, decisive winning challenge. And that's going to just continue to favor KCorp as that clock starts to wind down. The miss. Itachi goes backboard. What a save that is. Keeps it 0-0. And I love that because Itachi was trying to show the possibility of a first-time shot, instead floated in the air and made sure that you're able to get the save.
Yeah, watching the point of view of Alpha right now, he really does seem to be carrying this Vitality team. Just looking at the scoreboard, the whole of this game pretty much,
wow.
He's had more points than both his teammates, and that's just not sustainable against a three-player offense like this. Any one of the KCorp players can score a goal, and Itachi right there, a wonderful fake, just cancelling out of that jump to get back under that ball and send it towards the net, causing the defense to get static. And that is going to put KCorp 2-0 up and really set a tone going into the final game that they are capable of breaking down the full Vitality defense.
See Alpha trying to provide something for his team. KDOP sticks around, but no real threat. Itachi just gets rid of it. No real need to look towards the infield. You don't need anybody over there. Just continue to commit only one player per play.
Oh,
good
beautiful.
Shot, good goal. Astral couldn't have hit it better.
Nolly just knows that's the space Astral wants it in. High in the air, hard to predict for the defense. Trusts in his teammate to be able to finish it off. And Astral just makes it look so easy when he gets around that ball and sends it towards the goal. And at this stage, this is where KCorp needed to change. They needed to start breaking down the defense, not looking to go and solo play it from the moment they get the ball, but instead take players out the game. And now that they're doing that, they're setting each other up for wonderful opportunities.
This game is all but done as we put away the last few seconds of it. Alpha looks to try and get out a confidence booster, but not even that one's going to head towards Vitality's favor. So two games, two very different looking games here, Gregan. And as we have a chance to bring Achieves in as well, I don't know what to expect here. This really could just continue to be a coin flip each game of one team dominating the other.
You're not too far off in terms of the other brackets. The only team that continued their Game 1 win was Dignitas with a 4-0 win versus Guild in Game 2, so they currently have the perfect sweep set up against them. But as for Semper and Solary, they both tie up the series with wins over Evil Geniuses and Luminosity, respectively. So all things considered, a lot of teams going 1-1. Dignitas looking like the only sure bet here going forward.
Well, on this game that we're watching on the mainstream, I think it's pretty simple, the analysis I'm seeing. Both games, Vitality got 4 shots. In the first game, it relied on 2 wonder shots from Alpha to make those goals. From KCorp, they've had several shots in both games, looked the more threatening team. Just in the first game, they were rushing a little bit, probably due to nerves, and giving away the ball in those final moments rather than breaking down the opponents to open it up for each other. Now that KCorp have settled in, I think if they maintain this for the rest of the series, there is no hope for Vitality unless Vitality make a massive step up, especially KDOP and Radisson.
We'll see if they are capable of exactly that. It has been the flair that Vitality seem to have been searching for the majority of the season, something to bring them back to the top of the region and maybe even back to the top of the world. But now, though, Karmine Corp are taking their chance. It really is what this has been for this squad of players. It is a team of a lot of players here that have been either written off or just sort of said, okay, then there's this problem with this player. You know, surely putting Astra and Nolly in one team can't possibly work, and they've continued to prove everybody wrong.
Yeah, exactly. The 3-star players from their previous teams.
Oh, he couldn't get it.
3-star players from previous teams seemingly left, not because they were a bad player, but because they didn't seem to work with the teammates. They didn't seem to synergize with the teammates. They weren't happy with the way the team was working. They find themselves together, Itachi, Astral, and Nolly, superstars in their own right, working together, seem to have found the final formula they needed as players. And it is just this highly mechanical, full trust gameplay that has been working so well against the teams that are just that step short when it comes to mechanics. I didn't think that was going in, but Astral sends it from the sidewall.
I'm just having a look at the rotation back here. It's KDOP that's the one going. And
too slow.
Yeah, I mean,
it's simple as that. He's just not fast enough.
I was looking for literally any excuse I can give him, but there wasn't one.
Okay, so there's two things,
right?
Radosin has pushed up there, seemingly expecting a teammate to be behind him. The fact there wasn't one means that KDOP was rotating back too slow, or Radosin has got a bad expectation for his teammates as to how fast he should be getting back. Either of which is a lack of synergy, a lack of understanding, a lack of consistency in the rotation speed of this team.
And something that we can point back towards from the last game, which has already happened, given the situation that KDOP found himself in for the 2v1. It's just little things that keep coming back to haunt Vitality. And stuff that they would have hoped that would have been cleaned up. As KDOP takes his time, Itachi just about gets the bumper towards the save. 1-0 with 3 minutes left here in game number 3. Good pass, but KDOP's not really going to trouble much of anyone from that sort of position. And the way defense has sort of progressed over the last few years, you're not even really getting a lot of possession or boost from it because teams have just got so good at controlling the ball. And speaking of ball control, Itachi has plenty of it and plenty of different ways to make you look silly on the goal line.
Oh, that is reminiscent of the squishy ceiling shot back in season 3, season 4?
Season 4.
Season 4. Just that fake of a ceiling shot going into the second hit, catches the defense off guard. Not even that threatening a ceiling touch, but it's the deception that we're seeing consistent from KCorp's mechanics now. Asking those questions, we spoke about it in the last series. Ask questions of your opponent, get them to bait, get them to draw in and expect something. And in that way, they're always guessing every touch. Even if it's the most simple of touches, they'll be questioning whether that's what they're going to see come out of your car.
Well, the offense from Vitality has well and truly dried up since game number 1. Last game 3-0, this game 2-0.
You say offense, Alpha, because there wasn't really any offense in that first game. Alpha had 2 wonder goals, and that was it.
I was starting to think that I said it wrong there. It was just my pronunciation was off. You confused me for a second. I was like, mate, surely it's not that bad.
Yeah, lacking a little bit of full team offense here, Vitality, throughout the whole series.
And they have been trying for it because, again, we go straight back to where the last few goals have gone. It just seems like they're a little bit antsy at times to get 2 players forward. And they're going for what they think they should be doing rather than how the player's actually developing. That shot is going to be wide. Itachi on the way back. Doesn't get the 100 boost to spawn for himself. That's going to be a slight annoyance and does give Radosin a chance to move straight in. But even the bounce isn't going to go their way. Straight over to Nolly. He was waiting for it. The confidence that Karmine Corp have had has been quite something to behold here, as they have no doubt that they're going to win the majority of these challenges. And finally, Vitality have got themselves going. Blistering counterattack.
Yeah, what a play from Alpha. Just on his rotation back, comes in, disrupts a Tachi touch to the corner, which pops that ball middle on the counterattack. Radosin coming in, sends it towards the net. Finally, some intriguing positioning from Vitality, not just rotating through the normal patterns. They're trying to be unpredictable and catch their opponent off guard for the first time we've really seen. We need to see more of it. They're just too predictable right now, as we just see that again. KDOP in prime position to get bumped. Radosin in prime position to be beaten. And KCorp get that goal quickly back.
That was just very rude, Itachi, as Nolly will just guarantee the goal by pushing it forward. But I completely agree with what you're saying. I think if you were to describe the rotation typically of Vitality, it's clean. It's sort of like how you would want to train somebody and to teach somebody how to rotate. Problem is, that doesn't work anymore. It used to be that could get you a couple of chances. This is giving them a chance in the game. And they're going to have to be anything but clean if they want to try and grab that next goal.
Oh, really nice there from KDOT. The deception, we spoke about it. He looked like he was going to send it towards the back wall, drops it down middle, Alpha is there, but that is not a sustainable outplay. If that fails at any point in that connection from player 1 to 2 to 3, that's a goal for KCorp. So that's very much one of those goals you can score when you're down a few and get away with it, but it's not going to work in a full series or in a tournament.
Now for them right now, they'll be hoping that it can work for at least 6 more minutes. Do still have the chance here to put themselves into match point, but this does not help from Astral. Just pops the ball over the top, missed from Radosin as well, so Itachi can buy some more time, might even get the setup for a teammate. But Astral playing the clock well, realizes he does not need to dive on in. Even Nolly just refused to the shot. I think he would have won more power though. Radosin able to quite cleanly pick up the ball. Does require Itachi's help. Drop down to Alpha! 3 each.
Same setup as before, Radosin starting that play with a little bit of draw in and out play. KDOT drops it down, knows exactly where Alpha is. They do end up scoring, and again, an amazing goal, but it's just not the kind of goal they can sustain long term. The only reason they're getting away with that is because they have to score. There's only a few seconds left. So the question now comes, can they get it in overtime, or will they end up trying to force a goal, overcommitting, and getting called out by KCorp?
Well, it's time to find out. Big for both of these team seasons. KorP have looked like the better of the two, but they lose this. No matter how good that they've looked, they will be down 2 match points. Astral moves on in. Might have the setup. Nolly dove in though, and Itachi's tasked with trying to buy his team some time. He does a beautiful job of that. Nolly on the reverse. Almost got the ball back to his teammate. Astral crushes for another challenge needed as well. A lot of solo plays required just to hold the defense for KorP. Oh, well played by KDOT. Instantly shut down. Shot blocked by Itachi as Radosin now moves on back. First touch goes away from him, so he can only guide it straight back into the middle of the field. Just saw Noddy come into my field of view there. I don't quite know what he was doing, but he was certainly aerialing for something. Into the mid. Radosin, 0 boost. Try to keep the play going. He's done good. Nolly reacts, considering his teammate got a slightly unintentional touch on the ball's trajectory back down. And Vitality, I mean, despite what we've seen so far in the series, this is better from them. They're being a lot more active.
Yeah, the confidence I think they've gained from bringing this game back has stepped them all up individually. We're starting to see several players getting taken out from individuals, not just relying on a full team outplay, but instead, you know, take out one player, draw in the second, open up space for a teammate, getting those positive trades, 2 players for 1, less boost usage, all these kind of fundamental factors to win the neutral game. But it will be KCorp on the point blank range. Oh! What a save, Radosin! Sends it away. Astral not able to score.
Alpha reset against Itachi. He tried to leave it, but Itachi able just to keep his car in the air, guides the ball away. Unbelievable save. And is that the save that keeps Vitality's season going? Is that the moment that we'll look back towards? Right now, KorP, we're looking to try and just put that behind them. Itachi almost found the infield pass. He moves on in. Second best to Astral, who would like to recover a bit quicker to get over to the ball from Nolly. Radosin goes for the shot, and Nolly gets rid of it.
Oh, Astral, that's so fast. Those kind of moments like that are so dangerous. When you have a player go for the outplay, you draw in the second of your opponent, and then if you can't get rid of that ball, that's when you start to be on the back foot, because so many players have committed to defend the initial attempt from your opponent. And that's what we're talking about. That's what Vitality are doing so much better right now. Their initial attempt is taking players out the game, but it will be Astral finally finding the net as they break down the defense. Nolly with a great 50-50 and then takes out Radosin. 2 for 1, sets up Astral to shoot cleanly on that top corner, and KCorp win the overtime.
Oh, Vitality playing the best Rocket League we've seen from them. Still end up taking the L, but it was better. Now they need that for 2 wins in a row. Achieves this more Rocket League happening right now as well. And a lot of it has a lot of implications.
Yes, perhaps the most stunning one, Solary down 2, managed to find an equalizer. They're currently in the middle of game 4 with about 20 seconds left going into an overtime. If Solary gets bounced out here, they will be eliminated from Worlds and in big danger of missing the major. So Luminosity going to try and knock them out right there. A lot going on in some of the other series as well. Both teams that needed a win are fighting back currently in their game 4 with Evil Geniuses and Semper as they may be headed to an overtime, and Guild trying to find a way back against Dignitas. They just put in their first one with about a minute 30 left, down by 1.
Well,
eyes everywhere. I'm like scouting like this all the time. It's
a lot going on.
It's beautiful. I love it. I love every moment of it. I'm sure the fans don't know. I'm sure the fans just like, this could be so much easier. It was 3-0, in and out, nice, easy day.
Well, they made it to overtime. Good job, Solary. I really thought they were toast there. They were down 2-0 for like 4 minutes.
I feel like we've had that opinion of a lot of teams in this round, and yet many of them do continue to fight back, proving how much this season is worth to them. And we will keep you up to date with the goings on, not only just from here, but also from the other matches from around the RLCS. We get ourselves underway here over at Utopia as Astral looks at those outplays, and Astral's shooting has just been on a whole another level. He's just so good, not only at getting the shot on target, but putting it in a position that the goalkeeper doesn't like. But this time, it's Itachi's sheer power that will put it in.
Oh, Guild just tied it up against Dignitas before the left as well.
Oh, amazing.
And EG tied it up with
time for once.
I mean,
oh man,
we had the same thing in Regional 2 with Europe. Just this section of games, these 4 series, whilst they're going on, every single game matters. But right now, it's starting to look less and like this one's going to matter for Vitality as KCorp now 2 goals up.
No way. He just scored 0.
Oh my gosh. Evil Geniuses. They gotta go 5. What a bump. Some bonkers off-screen action.
So quick reminder, by the way,
like, this game's easy.
If you have a second monitor, it's time to get as many of these streams up as you possibly can. We're trying our best.
Oh, chance, KDOP shot. Sends it in. Oh, Vitality, a little bit of bite.
Just the moment I was like, all right, this match is looking pretty good here. Karmine Corp has sorted it. Can keep an eye elsewhere. No, not the case. KDOP straight back in.
Yeah, I mean,
dearie me.
That play, I hate to keep bringing it up like it's a mistake because it's not. It's an amazing attempt on net, and they're doing it consistently where they're getting 3 players involved in offense and it's working. But we've seen with Vitality, their biggest issue is their lack of ability as individuals to break a full team down. And in this moment, that's going to be an own goal that's going to plague the mind of Radosin as Nolly just puts him, snookers him, in fact, says, you've got to block this, otherwise I'm scoring, and he has to send it in himself.
So re-establishing that 2-goal lead. Vitality up against it here. It's Karmine Corp that have been playing exceptional Rocket League. Nolly already up, and KDOP just plays the ball. Doesn't even really give Nolly much of a thought. The Chief sounds like he might have a bit of an update for us.
Luminosity gonna eliminate Solary, a banger of a score from Ixo. Crossbar down and in, so that's Solary out. A lot of people grateful they made a fairly early exit. And as we said earlier, that means Solary is eliminated from Worlds, and they're going to need a lot of help to make London.
Wow. So we're stuck in that position of Solary make it by default if all the teams that could take their spot fail to perform well in this event. And with Endpoint sitting in that upper bracket, they're going to be very happy to see that because all they got to do now is win 1 series without losing 2, and they'll be securing that spot. And there's several other teams that will be looking at that 5th spot for the London Major thinking, ooh, that's now opened up now, Solary out of the tournament. And
and that does mean Liquid goes to London as well.
Oh, so lots of implications going on right now, but it seems like KCorp have just got that more sustainable playstyle to create goal-scoring opportunities. Individual outplays, taking not only 1 but 2 or 3 players out the game, making it awkward for the defense. And Vitality just can't produce enough goals to keep up with it.
Yeah, Vitality look like they're really frazzled with the way that this game has gone. A couple of missed touches or just no touches at all. And 3-goal lead that they've got to try and cut into and start doing that pretty quickly as well. Nolly just outpacing the rest of them. They do have options downfield, but they don't have the boost on any of those players. And keep an eye on that top right-hand side. Vitali working with scraps at the moment. Talchi back to his own back corner. KDOP looks for the shot. They need something. Radosin tried to provide. Doesn't work out on this occasion. And the dive in as well means 2 players are actually now behind the ball. Gives more time for Nolly to move on back in. Alpha and KDOP are back in the rotation.
No boost.
Yeah, there's no boost ever for Vitality for the last 30 seconds or so.
Oh, so creative. It gets 2 players to jump. The last one is then looking for boost, and it allows the next players from KCorp to come in with full license of mechanics. Do what you want. We've broken them down. You can have a go now at scoring without any risk. And that's just such a strong position to be in against any defense when you can go for an outplay knowing there's no risk of conceding off the back of it.
Infield pass to Alpha, not good enough to try and get at least one of those goals back. Astral already waiting around, and Cheese is having a lot of fun. What's going on, bud?
Oh, Guild just scored a cross-field pinch out of a corner challenge to force Game 5 versus Dignitas, and Evil Geniuses currently 1-0 up on Semper. The loser of this match is eliminated from major contention.
Same issue as earlier against Juicers was a lack of closing out ability from Dignitas. They're just not able to finish off those really important Game 3, Game 4, Game 5, and Guild punishing them for that. Where we're watching right now with KCorp is a bit of a no game finish.
Yeah,
looks like KCorp are just going to clean it up and try and rack up as many goals for their stats.
Yeah, this looks pretty done at this point. 4-goal lead. Somewhat unheard of, especially in much more modern Rocket League. We're losing that sort of lead. Maybe back in Season 1, we could potentially see something like that.
Well, with this result from Vitality, I mean, they're not eliminated, or well, they are eliminated from the major, but not technically from Worlds. And while not mathematically eliminated, it's
they rely on a
tough
lot.
pill to swallow. Yeah.
They're relying on the worst European performance of all time. Are they?
Well,
or are they?
I'd believe it.
They're still in that range.
I think they're relying on the best European performance at the major to open up more spots for them, as well as the teams that are above them not to do well at the major. So
It's going to be very patchy supporting from this
So
team.
you need Sam and OCE and APAC to beat a lot of North Americans and Europe to lose to North Americans.
Well, that's not going to be happening. KCorp showing that their superior mechanics are definitely the biggest factor in this matchup. Vitality only able to score by overcommitting as full 3 players or with that crazy alpha performance in Game 1. Outside of that, Vitality just don't have that sustainability in the current speed and mechanical gameplay of Rocket League to match the likes of KCorp. All credit is due to KCorp though. Individually looked amazing. As a team, they are looking stronger and stronger, and they just put themselves in a very good spot to be making London.
And whilst we go through these replays achieves, Evil Geniuses gone 2-0 up in their match against Semper. 17 seconds left. That's looking like a lock.
Yeah, tough break for Semper. They will be eliminated from going to London if they lose here. Maybe if we get a little lucky and we can pull the stream up, we may be able to catch the final few seconds. But well played, Evil Geniuses. Got a big